I'm Charlotte, and the name of my channel is Positively Charlotte. I want to show you how to make some props for your yoga classes. A long time ago, about 25 years ago, I started taking yoga, and I didn't have any props. So I took a yoga class with a woman at a university in our area, and she had several things, but mostly it was a bolster, a block, and a strap. So I want to show you how to make these if you're just starting out or if you need some props. And it's a really easy way that you can make your own props. First thing I'm going to show you is a strap. So a strap looks like this, has two buckles at the end. That's a regular yoga strap, and it's about 7 feet long. But if you don't have a strap, you can use a tie. Now, for a while, I just used one tie, but I realized there were several things I needed a longer strap. So I just tied two ties together. So the way that I did this is I'm going to show you, it's like a sewing knot. So you're going to put the two small ends together, just like this. Put them together, and then make a big circle around your hand and bring it around and just push it through that loop and then tie it. I'll leave about 3 inches at the end, and then I'll make another tie here just to secure the knot, because then it holds very strongly. So that's the way I would do it. And then you can do just about anything with this. There are a lot of good shoulder exercises you can do, and I'll show you how to do some of those in another video that I'm planning to make about using props. Okay, the next way you could use a strap is to take two long belts. Now, these are my husband's belts that he didn't want anymore, and I just put them end to end, and I buckled the brown one into the black, and then also this side. So you can take these apart and just have one buckle if you need a really long strap, or you could use it this way for a lot of different things. It's a great way to make a strap. The next thing is a block. Now, here are some yoga blocks, and notice that these yoga blocks are not the same size. The one here on your right is a little bigger in that way, and it's also a little bit, let's see, I have some that are a little bit more not as deep as these two. So these are deeper. And then I have one right here, grab it, that is a little bit smaller. And so that shows that, you know, there's no rule on how to make a yoga block or how big it should be. So what I did is I went to the used bookstore and I got some books, and I was lucky to find 2 books. Actually, they're the same book. And so that's what I bought, the 2 books that are the same size, or you could get 4 books and put them together in a certain way, and I'm going to show you how I did that. The best way to do is take a couple of those thick rubber bands that you get around your vegetables, see that? And it keeps the book from flying open. Now, this book is not going to be harmed in any way. So I took some grocery sacks like this, a nice heavy paper, and cut it to the same size. Let's see, the same size as the book, like that. And then I wrapped this around the book just to cover the rubber bands and make it more smooth. Then I took another piece and I cut it the size that I would use to wrap a gift. So I cut it a little bit bigger this time. It's a little bigger. And then I wrapped it over the center just like this. Have it wrapped that way. And then I took the ends and pushed the middle in first. I like to do it that way because it makes the ends more sharp and it looks a lot better and it's easier. So then you take that in and then put these sides in, bring that down, and then you're going to take that in together. So that is a great block. This is a nice heavy book too. The next thing I did to that, after I got it all covered, I put some duct tape around it. And you can buy colorful duct tape, and you might even want to just duct tape the whole thing because it's great for helping your hand to stay steady on the block and not slip, and also on the floor or a carpet if you're using carpet. The next way I made a block was just what I had around the house, which was a 2x4. So I had my husband to cut this, and I'm going to show you how I did it. I put it together with some glue, and just any kind of wood glue will work. So you're going to put the wood glue on the edges right there and stick it together like that. And then you can go ahead and glue the whole thing, but you will want to let it sit. I like to let it sit about 48 hours. before I use it. Then you're going to put glue on top of that. And then here are the next two pieces. Put some glue on the edge, the small edge, and lay it on there. And then put some more glue on this edge and some glue. Remember your glue here. Don't leave puddles of glue. You don't want the glue oozing out. And make sure it's just nice and straight. You can put this in a vise, or you can, vise is something that is screws together and it holds everything really tight till it dries. Or you could just tie some string around it tightly, but I wouldn't use it for about 48 hours. So that's another way to make a block. Okay, the next thing we're going to look at is a sandbag. So I have sandbags, and mine are 8 pounds. So these are about, you take a piece of fabric about 7 inches, and it's about maybe 14 inches long. And you sew the 3 sides, the 2 long sides in the bottom, and then you put sand in here. You can buy sand at a store and know how much it weighs. So I don't know, it's not really that important. It just needs to be kind of heavy. This is great if you're lying down on your back in Shavasana. You want to put this right on your hips, just right below your hip joint, on your legs. And it makes you feel so grounded into the earth. So I hope you will try that one. And then here's another prop that I use. Now I teach yoga classes. I have about 5 classes a week and all ages. And I like to give them a little present when they come. And it is this sock. And it's a sock that's made of a man's work sock. And it's made it into an eye bag. And I put about 1.5 cups or 2 cups of rice. You don't want to put a lot of rice. You don't want to fill it all the way up because it would be too heavy on your eyes. So just fill it about 1.5 cups. And then I have some wonderful, it's almost all gone here, but I have a little bit left, of lavender. I wish you could smell it. I ordered this from Europe, and I've had this container. It came in 2 large bags, about this large, and it smells so nice, and it still smells the same. I've kept it in a container, and this is all I have left after about 5 years, and it still smells just as nice. So then you can just hold your sock up. You take the end that has the opening, and you just turn that around your hand like you did with the book, and then the book and the straps, and you let this rice become soft in here, and then you put it on your eyes and let it release down over your temples, and that is very grounding also. So with the sandbag and the sock, you're going to be ready for a nap. The last thing I'm going to show you is a bolster. So the way I made a bolster is I took a blanket. My husband's grandmother gave us this old blanket, and she gave us a bunch of blankets or quilts, but this one was especially tattered and torn, and I never did get rid of it. I just kept it. I think I'll use that for something. So I put this blanket in the floor, and I fold it in thirds. So here's the blanket opened all the way, and then I fold it over this way 1/3, because to make the bolster for my height, I wanted to measure myself from the top of the head to the tailbone. Now you don't want to measure down below your hips, right at the tailbone, because that part's going to be on the bolster, and the hips are going to be sitting on the floor in front of the bolster. So you fold that over, and then you fold it over this way, back the other way, like that, nice and smooth, and try to get everything in line with each other. And then I took a folded blanket that I had made for my daughter for cheerleading. She wanted to had a lot of little sleepovers whenever she was younger. And so I folded this once, and then twice, and then into fourths, and it's just exactly the right size I need for this blanket. You might have to experiment a little bit. Make sure everything's even on the edges, so you'll have a really nice blanket. Now, here are some straps that I use. They're called straps, but I'm calling them straps. But I tore them from pieces of old sheet. And I'm going to put it underneath the edge here that I'm going to roll it down to. So I'm going to flatten that out and go back to the other end and start to roll. And you don't want to roll it so tightly that it's hard. You want to make it kind of soft. So just turn over about 3 or 4 inches, and then start to roll. Be sure that you keep your blanket straight and keep rolling. And now notice I'm not pushing and trying to squeeze it really hard. I'm just firmly rolling it along all the way down to the other end, and that's going to be about big enough right there. I'm going to tie the middle strap first, like that. And this next strap, I have to have this finished in 15 minutes, or YouTube won't let me put it on. So that's why I'm hurrying. I want to do all of this so you can see. And then you tie that very tightly. And those wide pieces of cloth keep it more together so you can see how it looks. Now I'd like to turn this over so that the knots go down toward where it ended. So you can move that around that way. So it's by the fold. And then we're going to put it right here. I'm going to grab a blanket just to show you how wonderful this can be. And we're going to knock some blocks off while we do that. Over there. And this goes, now if you have any back problems at all, or you want to be more comfortable, you can put a blanket on the floor, turn around, sit on the floor, right near the edge of the bolster. This is the bolster now, it used to be a blanket. And I'm going to press down, and then my feet are stretched out, as you can see. Take a breath in. Exhale through your nose as you slowly release your body back. Make sure that your forehead is above your chin and your arms are released down to your sides with your palms facing upward. And then you breathe. You can also take your eye bag and place it on your eyes. And you could put your sandbag on your hips too. Here it is. Here we go. Now. And breathe. It's like heaven. So I'm going to take these off. And I hope you've learned something about making props. Yoga is such a wonderful thing. And especially props are good for restorative yoga when you're not feeling well. So I hope you have a wonderful day. And please give me a thumbs up if you like this video. And always remember to check with your healthcare professional or your doctor before you start any exercise program. Namaste. Have a wonderful day.